Welcome back, everyone. It is Thursday, February 13th in the NBA. My three best bets are on the way. Today is the final day before the NBA All-Star break, but believe the games don't return until next Thursday or Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So this will be our final video talking about the NBA. But as always, we first need to recap how we did yesterday. A pretty good day for us, 4-2 overall. It began with Nick Smith Jr.'s under in threes. He had 0 at halftime, and he got ejected right as halftime ended. We'll certainly take it. Then we had Jalen Duren to get a double-double. I was free. The Zion and Sabonis parlay, another sweat-free winner. Stephen Curry under in points. It looked sweat-free. He had 14 points with 5 minutes to go. And then he went nuts, and we had to sweat it out. He ended with 25. And then our other two losers, day 3 of the ladder challenge. I don't need to get into that. Kobe White absolutely sold us. Just a bad read on my end. Should have just gone higher on Cade and lower on Malik Beasley. Two of my reads I really liked. And then Lopez over in threes. I wouldn't have taken it had I known Dame was out, but he was ruled out randomly throughout the day. Either way, a 4-2 day, up 30, nearly 32 units on the season. Pretty good. I really like the spot we're in as we head into the All-Star break. Hopefully we can go 2-1 or 3-0 today, and hopefully enter the break with continuing the momentum we've had. We've had really good success on the unders we've been taking recently. So today we got 2 unders, we got 1 over. Today we only have 5 games, but every single team that is playing today played yesterday. So again, today's going to be a weird day. I really like the 3 picks in this video. There's chances the lines move depending on injury reports, and there's a chance not all the guys I talk about in today's video play. But again, hey, we'll try our best to find our best plays and go on from there. Let's dive into the plays. My last note is I want to put out there is we have an MLB futures video that's going to drop on Monday. Now, we haven't officially sent out any picks to the DubClub, but we will be sending some out over the weekend for the MLB, which is players and pitchers are reporting, I believe, within the next few days. So again, we're going to spend this time in the All-Star break, get dialed in for the MLB, which obviously doesn't start until the end of March, but hey, stay tuned for that. That futures video will drop on Monday, and we'll include some long shot parlays and things like that. But you guys don't care about any of that. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you out there, as that is tomorrow, and I won't see you then. Let's dive into our plays, though, today. The first one we'll begin with, Amen Thompson of the Houston Rockets, over 5.5 assists, currently minus 130 on FanDuel. Now, before you say, Austin, the line's changing, and I get it. Before I even pull up this, I do want to know, what would I play if the line changed? This is probably what I would look at. Amen Thompson has kind of been moving to minus 130 now, but I do like Sabonis double-double. He has a double-double in 48 of 51 games so far this season. So, hey, look, this value, hey, just changed minus 105. So I'd play that if you can't take, if this is a little bit too juiced on your buck, depending on what it is. That's my favorite juice reducer. He has a great matchup versus the Pelicans once again. Now, why do I like Amen Thompson? And I'll start first probably talking about the Rockets injury report, as the Rockets are at home here taking on the Warriors, who got in late last night. We have no idea who's playing for the Warriors tonight. The same thing could be said about the Rockets. And we'll begin first with the injury report. And this going to be a lengthy one for the Rockets. Now, first, you got to look at the guys that are probably not suiting up. And we'll zoom in here real quick. Obviously, Fred VanVleet, he's been out for a hot minute. He's out. Jabari Smith Jr. is not listed here. He's out. Tari Eason is out on a back-to-back. Steven Adams out on a back-to-back. Other guys in there, I have no idea. Alperen Sengun, though, is an interesting one to note. He could miss tonight's game, and it would not shock me. He has been on the injury report with a back injury over the last few games. And if you look at his game log, yesterday played 38 minutes, his first game back, from the injury. The last time he tried to play in a back-to-back, played 3 minutes. The back injury wasn't there, and he left early. So again, would it shock anyone tonight if Alperen Sengun is ruled out? No. Heck, it really wouldn't shock me. I put his odds at playing at about 50-50. Now, let's dive into Amen Thompson a little bit more, and we'll look at his numbers. Obviously, he's been early on in the season, wasn't playing a ton of minutes, but I more so want to look at what he's been doing for us recently in the month of February. Seeing a pretty solid hit rate, 7, 11, 8, 5, 5, 5, and then 11 assists. We don't have the potential assists from yesterday, but I'm sure they were pretty solid to get 11 assists. Now, the 5 here, 5 on 9 potential, 5 on 11, 5 on 9 here. Not too shabby. I mean, the Mavericks, not a great matchup for assists. Raptors, they're hit or miss, depending on what you get from them. I think this game was super low scoring, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Raptors, that was the game that was 94-87. So again, not a lot of points on the board there. And then again, the Timberwolves, not a good matchup. But we've seen in some decent matchups, he's getting real close to the line. When you look at games that he's played without Alperen Sengun, 4, 7, and 11 assists when he's played without Alperen Şengün and without Fred VanVleet. Only game was 11 assists against the New York Knicks. Not a great matchup for him. And I think about first Amen Thompson's scoring. How does he do his scoring? Well, he does it all in the paint, 66% of it in the restricted area, where despite being undersized, the Warriors rank first defensively. So they're pretty good defense there, pretty good in transition as well. They're also pretty good against the pick and roll ball handler. And what they've done a really good job at is actually slowing down Jalen Green, 7, 14, and 12 points against them. Now, I'm not saying take Jalen Green's under because they will be heavily depleted as they were not in these games. But again, they've done a good job defending him. He probably gets Gary Payton on him. And I can see Amen Thompson getting some opportunities where he's driving, but then he gets doubled and he has to kick it to some shooters. A guy I do like, this guy, Dylan Brooks. I think he has a pretty good game. But again, you look at how he scores, 28th. And spot up the Warriors, that is. And I don't think it gets any better today, given Amen Thompson driving to the hoop. They're not giving him free lanes. So again, I really think this is a good spot to back Amen Thompson's over an assist. He's been really good lately. I think you're reasonable to say, hey, we think he's going to play. Honestly, he's one of the only guys I can probably guarantee at least gets 30 minutes. Probably a good chance he gets you closer to 36 minutes. Sure, is the hit rate not great? No. But again, let's keep in mind, they're missing so many different guys today. The usage is going to go up for a guy like Amen Thompson, who realistically, like I said, could play 40 minutes tonight, and it wouldn't shock me a ton. I get it. The hit rate doesn't look great here. But again, we're looking at games where potentially, Fred VanVleet's officially out. Wouldn't shock me if Şengün gets ruled out. If Şengün's out, I don't know if I love this at 6.5, but I like taking it at 6, which obviously is an alt line you can get on FanDuel pretty much every single day. So again, first pick of the day, Amen Thompson over 5.5 assists. Should play a good amount of minutes. Let's hope he is dishing it to his teammates, and they're hopefully making some shots for us. He should play a ton of minutes tonight, given how depleted the Rockets are going to be. I think he gets those assists tonight against the Warriors. A pretty decent matchup for him. Now we move on to our second and third play. We got 2 unders. And then I'll talk at the end of the video about a couple other plays that I did look at. But again, every team on back-to-backs. I don't want to force a ton of plays because I have no idea who's suiting up tonight. I have no idea if this guy suits up, but I like his under. That's DeMar DeRozan under 20.5 points, -105 on DraftKings. Was hoping to get a 21.5 line for him. And heck, throughout the day, you might see guys like Sabonis or Monk or Levine get ruled out, and that obviously would help you here. And DeRozan's line would probably go up. Not sure I'd love it as much with those guys inactive, but I don't love this matchup for DeMar DeRozan against the Pelicans. Now, obviously, they just played yesterday. DeRozan did go over in that game, but I feel he was a little bit lucky going over in that one. I don't like this matchup for him. I think it's a better matchup for maybe Malik Monk, who's kind of been quiet the last few games. Better matchup for Sabonis. Zach LaVine, obviously, we know he can go scorched earth anytime. And Keegan Murray, heck, he did nothing yesterday. 6 points, only 5 shots. Maybe he gets going more today. Again, let's talk about DeRozan, though, and we'll look at how he scores his points. Now, like I said, last 2 games, 42 and 24. Yesterday made 3 threes. But we saw just a few days ago on the 8th of February, 11 points, 12 shots. Didn't really get anything going. Why is that? Because, DeRozan, look at where he scores his points. 46% are in the mid-range, where the Pelicans rank first defensively. Very good mid-range defense. Additionally, you go down, you see pick and roll ball handler, which he does a lot more of these days. Their top 10 defense. Free throws, they've been really good. And now that they've seen him so many times in a row, I mean, they've seen him now this time on the 8th. There's some yesterday. Now you've seen him again. Hopefully we can limit the free throws. I mean, 4 and 4 free throw attempts in both games. So not a lot of volume there. Again, they're a pretty good bad spot up defense, and maybe look for a guy like Keegan Murray to maybe get going here. First match by 19. Yesterday, only 6 points. I maybe don't mind his over. Malik Monk is another guy that's kind of been quiet against them recently. Could we see him go off for a 30, 25-point game? No, wouldn't shock me there. Sabonis, another guy's been quiet 2 straight games. Maybe he gets going a little bit more. They have no matchup for him. So, again, this is an 8.5-point spread. I think it's a tougher matchup for DeMar than it is for his teammates. So I like his under. Could he go over? Yeah, he's certainly capable. But most of his volume yesterday, he shot 17 times. Mostly volume came in the fourth quarter. He had 7 shots in the fourth. That game was super tight. With no Zion today, can you guarantee that this game's tight? Probably not. So I do like his under here at 20.5 points. I think it's a solid play. I'll take the under there. Second play of the day. Third and final day to end the All-Star break, or end pre-All-Star break. As we go into the All-Star break, it's going to be another under. And it's arguably one of my favorite plays of the day. That is Jordan Clarkson of the Utah Jazz, under 4.5 assists, -130 on DraftKings. I'd play this honestly for more than one unit, but obviously being a back-to-back for the Jazz, I'm not sure who they suit up tonight. I'm not even certain Jordan Clarkson suits up tonight. I'm not going to do it, but I do like the under here a lot for Jordan Clarkson, arguably my favorite play of the day out of the three. Now, Clarkson, as I said, is of the Utah Jazz. They're at home. They're facing the Clippers. The Clippers are obviously on a back-to-back. Kawhi Leonard will not play for them tonight. But other than Kawhi, I'd expect everyone else to be out there. And I don't know if James Harden could get the day off. That really wouldn't shock me a ton going into the All-Star break. But again, I expect those guys out there. And even if with Kawhi out, you're going to see better defenders in there. Now, Kawhi is obviously a pretty good defender, but the guys that apply a lot more ball pressure, guys like Derrick Jones Jr., Nicholas Batum, Chris Dunn, they get even more minutes. I like them to go out there and do a pretty good job at slowing down Jordan Clarkson, this attack of the Utah Jazz. Again, the Jazz are 8.5-point favorites. And I don't like the spot for Jordan Clarkson to score, nor do I like it for him to get the assist, too. He's not really known as being a big passer. No offense, Jordan Clarkson. You know. Again, we look at the Jazz and we start with their depth chart, and we'll first look at them. Sexton remains out here. He will be out tonight. Now, Collier, he's going to play. He's their point guard. Keontae George comes off the bench. And so when you see Jordan Clarkson in, he's spending a lot of time with Collier, who is their number one point guard. They let him run the offense. And then he's out there a lot with Keontae George. So one of these two guys is on the court pretty much every single minute that Jordan Clarkson plays. So he's not really their number one guy to run the offense. And we look at Jordan Clarkson, we got to touch on his assists, which, as I said, was minus 130. Lines might change, minus 146, minus 135 still on DraftKings. So still a decent line out there. Obviously under in a majority of games. He did go over yesterday at 8 potential assists, made 7 assists. Actually, now that we have those potential numbers, I'll dive into some potential numbers in a second. But again, 7 assists there, but 8 potential. He really doesn't get a ton of potential assists. He just faced the Clippers here, head-to-head wise, 2 and 3 assists. I mean, 2 on 5. This game, he had 11 potential assists. They lost by 37. And then this one, 3 on 6. So not a lot of potential assists in there. And we see when he faces good defenses. You look at the Clippers, 6th fewest assists per game allowed, 2nd in defensive rating. When he's faced defenses in the top 15, under in 10 of 15 games, top 10 defenses, under in 7 of 11. So a pretty good hit rate here. That game when he just faced the Clippers, he had no Markkanen, no Sexton, no John Collins. So again, he was one of the higher usage guys on the team. Now I don't really think that's. I just realized I'm blocking. I blocked some of these numbers. Again, 7, 4, all these numbers you can see on Prop Madness. So again, I think it's a good spot. So I'll take his under 4.5 assists. I don't like the spot. Well, good spot for his under, bad spot for him to get the assist on a back-to-back. Final game before the All-Star break. Jordan Clarkson, when a guy that's dealt with some injuries this year, do we play him his full complement of minutes? Probably not. Maybe we lean on more of the younger guys like George and Collier to go out there and do their thing. And they could also get blown out. Wouldn't really shock anyone there. So, again, really like his under 4.5 assists. My 3 plays of the day before we dive into the other games. Amen Thompson over 5.5 assists. DeMar DeRozan under 20.5 points. And Jordan Clarkson under 4.5 assists. Those are my 3 plays of the day as we head into the All-Star break. Now, I want to touch on some other plays that I did take a peek at. One of them, this is going to be one of them. It goes hand in hand with DeMar's under, and that would be Malik Monk's over an assist. Now, in his 3 games, he's had 9 assists on 14 potential, 7 assists on 21 potential, and 4 assists on 11 potential assists last night. I mean, the potential assists last night were great. He just, didn't convert them. I mean, he hasn't really converted them recently against the Pelicans. If we look at their last game, and I'm just spitballing here, because I honestly really like this. Not what I meant to do. I meant to do Kings. How many passes did he make last night? 4, adjusted assist 6, 61 total passes made. So pretty good spot for him. I do like the assist. I'd honestly consider adding it, but I don't know if I really want to have 4 picks on a short card. If I were to take another play, this would be it. I hope it comes through. Points wise, I don't honestly hate it. I know he hasn't played well against them this year, but again, in the back-to-back, this feels like a game there. Maybe you see him score and be a little bit more aggressive. His most recent back-to-backs, 20 shots here, 13 against the Nuggets, 25 here. That was out Fox, 16. So maybe he's a little bit more aggressive in back-to-backs, whereas older guys like a guy like DeMar DeRozan's maybe a little bit more passive. In terms of the other games, now that we actually have a potential assist, we might be able to see how many Amen Thompson had last night. Only 13. Not bad. I'm not expected to be somewhere around 13 to 15. So that's pretty solid. Love the Men Thompson play. In terms of the other ones, hard to really bet on the Warriors side because you have Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry back to back. Who knows if those guys suit up? This is not that game. Miami Dallas, a game I looked at. Here's the play I did almost pull the trigger on. That would be Klay Thompson under 3.5 threes. I just don't think he's a 4 threes on a back-to-back kind of guy. But I don't know who's playing for the Mavericks tonight. So you might get a better line if Kyrie Irving gets ruled out. But Klay and under, I don't mind at all. Heat side of the equation, count me out. I hate that team. In terms of the Clippers side, really not a lot I like on their side. The only game we really haven't touched on is this one, the OKC versus Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, Ant-Man's been shooting a ton. But again, about as tough as a matchup that he can get. Free throw wise, though, he's been pretty good. He could get to the free throw line a good amount, and that might put people that are in on the under in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure I really would want to bet on Ant-Man on a back-to-back. I mean, he's been good, but again, not a great matchup. People are going to pivot and look at Chet Holmgren's over in points. I get it. Returning back to Minnesota. I've backed him in Minnesota before last year, and sure, he had good games, but again, played 34 minutes here, 29, 33, 32. The chances of him playing that many minutes tonight are probably unlikely. Played 25 here. I don't know about that. So again, just not really a lot I like on the slate. Another play I did look at is this one. Nas Reed over in rebounds. I think if you're like Austin, I need 2 more plays. A Nas Reed over in rebounds is probably a pretty good angle. I like that one. I also like that Malik Monk over an assist play. You've seen him play rebound the ball pretty well without Julius Randle, who's obviously still out today. Obviously, a good matchup for rebounds against the Thunder. They are 23rd in rebounds allowed. So again, I like those 2 plays. I'm going to stick to the 3 that I already talked about. Amen Thompson over an assist, DeMar under in points, Clarkson under an assist. Stick to those 3. Like I said, if you want more picks, I like Monks over an assist. I think that's a solid look. Love Domantas Sabonis double-double. Sabonis points and rebounds is pretty solid. And I do like that Nas Reed over in rebounds. I don't know if I'd get involved in anything else there. But again, it's back-to-back season. Every team on back-to-backs going to be a shit show tonight. So be careful with your bankroll. That's why I'm targeting 2 unders. Let's hope the injury report is kind to us today, and let's hope that we go 3-0 and end the All-Star break with the broom out. And I hope I can bring out that broom on whenever the NBA returns. Which, you know what, we might as well look at it now. NBA returns. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, NBA return. I want to say it's Thursday, right? Thursday. Yep. NBA should return Thursday. Technically, there's 1 game on Wednesday. This is going to be interesting. Charlotte, LA. I don't even know if I'll do a video. We'll probably do a video for that. So Wednesday, I guess, when the NBA returns, but really Thursday with a full slate. But either way, appreciate you guys as always for tuning in. Thanks as always for showing a ton of support. Like I said, MLB futures video probably be posted on Monday with a bunch of futures that we like for the MLB season. Last year wasn't our best year for the MLB, but don't get it twisted. Logan and I are going to be dialed in this season, hopefully turning in another 50-unit year, which we had, last year or 2 years ago. Either way, thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful All-Star break. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's cash our 3 plays and bring out the brooms. I'll see you guys back in the next one. Peace.